Americanpickers Fritz lost the will to live after stroke as friend claims really tough recovery led to death. Hello everyone, my name is Alana B. Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like. Americanpickers star Fritz died on Monday, September 30, and a close friend believes he passed because he lost his will to live 2 years after suffering a debilitating stroke. Frank died at 60 years old in an Iowa hospice with loved ones, including longtime friend and coster Mike Wolf by his side. Sign up for the U.S. Sun newsletter. Your info will be used in accordance with our privacy policy. In an exclusive interview with the U.S. Sun, Frank's close friend Jerry Gendreau revealed the star's difficult recovery after he suffered a stroke in July 2022. Jerry, who owns Bar Hog Dogs in Savannah, Illinois, where the late star's antique store Fritz finds is located inside, told the U.S. Sun he felt really bad. You would go to see him in the nursing home, and one half of his body was completely done. He would lift his arm up, and it would just drop. That's got to be tough to be totally bedridden. Jerry explained how Frank grew frustrated because he couldn't come out and say what he wanted to say, though some days were much better than others. I've seen this when people get tired, they get tired. I think if you don't have the will to live, you won't, Jerry said. I think Frank could have lived a lot longer if the will to live would have been there. Jerry said he will always remember his friend's spontaneity, the quality that made him a fan favorite on Americanpickers. He was truly the comedian who popped out with some of the weirdest and dumbest things that you just go, wow, Jerry said. Frank was pretty much a what you see is what you get guy. His faults were his faults. You can't fault anybody for being what they are. He was a right is right and wrong is wrong kind of person. He made a mark on history. Americanpickers Mike Wolf looks downcast outside Iowa guest house in first photos since co-star Frank Fritz's death. A source previously told the U.S. Sun how Frank struggled in the months leading up to his passing. He has been bad since the stroke, and he had been getting worse. He was unable to move the right side of his body. He needed 24-hour care. There was no way he was getting better. The passing comes 2 years after Frank suffered a stroke in his Iowa home in July 2022. Frank was unable to recover from the stroke fully, as he was rushed to the hospital 4 times in 2022 and 2023 for pneumonia and a seizure. He was left wheelchair-bound and returned to a rehabilitation center after the hospital stints. He can walk, but he's always going to need the wheelchair because he can't walk long distances, a source previously told the U.S. Sun in August 2023. Basically, you lose motion. He lost motion. A stroke can affect your left or your right side. It affected his right side. Frank's close friends filed for a conservatorship and guardianship for him in August 2022. Midwestone Bank acted as Frank's conservator, while his close friend Chris Davis was his guardian. Because of his stroke, Mr. Fritz's decision-making capacity is so impaired that he is unable to care for his own safety or to provide for necessities such as food, shelter, clothing, or medical care, without which physical injury or illness may occur, documents obtained by the U.S. Sun read. Mr. Fritz's decision-making capacity is so impaired that he is unable to make, communicate, or carry out important decisions concerning his own financial affairs. Decisions must be made for Mr. Fritz's care and placement while he continues to recover and receive treatment for his injuries. The appointment of a guardian and conservator was deemed necessary to avoid immediate harm to him. In July 2024, conservator Midwestone demanded Frank's finances be transferred to them because he needed skilled and long-term nursing care at the time. Frank Fritz was placed under a conservatorship in August 2022, just weeks after he suffered a stroke. Frank's conservator is Midwestone Bank and is in charge of his finances. The bank agreed to invest Frank's money and collections to generate income. The Guardian is his good friend Chris Davis. Chris is responsible for helping Frank manage his Crohn's disease treatment, go to physical therapy, grocery shop, cook, and more day-to-day tasks. The conservatorship also agreed to help replenish Frank's Iowa antique store, Fritz finds. A wheelchair ramp and more have been installed in his Iowa home under the conservatorship. Mike, 60, announced Frank's passing the morning after his death, as he wrote on Instagram, "It's with a broken heart that I share with all of you that Frank passed away last night. I've known Frank for more than half my life, and what you've seen on TV has always been what I have seen, a dreamer who was just as sensitive as he was funny." The same off-camera as he was on, Frank had a way of reaching the hearts of so many by just being himself. Who would have ever dreamed we would share the cockpit of a white cargo van in front of millions of people interested in our adventures? Before the show, we would take off together to places we never knew existed with no destination in mind, and just the shared passion to discover something interesting and historic. The U.S. Sun obtained exclusive photos of Mike, 60, outside of his Iowa vacation rental in his hometown of LeClaire, Iowa on Wednesday, October 2. Mike appeared somber in the photos, as he focused on making renovations to the home. The U.S. Sun also obtained photos of Mike's brother Robbie, who replaced Frank on the History Channel show. He also appeared down, as he was seen chatting with customers at his shop United Motors in Davenport, Iowa. Frank's Guardian previously told the U.S. Sun of funeral plans for the late History Channel star. "There will be a celebration of life in the future. It will be big. Fans can attend. We already have several bands who want to play in it, including my band. This will probably take place in the spring." Chris added of his close friend, "I will say Frank loved his fans, and he passed away peacefully with friends at his side." Frank appeared on Americanpickers from 2010 to 2020. Topics. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Americanpickers 24, and stay with us.